Right now, Pat, it's time for a chat with Pat, and it's Thursday, so it's time for Joni.
I love it. Yes, today Joan Watson is with us. She is an author, a speaker, and we've kind of started a series here on Thursdays. If you remember, last fall we did a book that she wrote on the Holy Door, which was fascinating. I had a lot of people tell me that they enjoyed that and got the book, and even thought about they were trying to start kind of a study using it. Well, she's got another good one out called Making a Pilgrimage, a companion for Catholics. Hi, Joni. How you doing today?
I am great, Pat. A little cold, but hanging in there.
Have you dug out? Did you guys get hit hard?
We did. It's been snowing every day. It's the problem with living by a big lake, as you probably know.
Very true, very true. Well, Joni, we are jumping in, and chapter 3 is there's so much in here, so we'll see if we can finish it today. It might be a two-parter, but
okay.
I want to start with that whole what you start the chapter with, which is a great quote from St. John Paul II on pilgrimage. Can you give us a little insight into why you chose this quote and why he wrote this quote? Because it's beautiful, or what this came from.
Yeah, so I've really found some beautiful quotes. I was actually thinking about this morning when I was looking over the chapter to get ready for this conversation. I'm in love with the quotes in this book, and it was all the Holy Spirit, right? Like I'm stumbling upon these quotes as, like a blind pig on an acorn, as my grandfather would say. It was all the Holy Spirit finding these quotes for me. But John Paul II wrote this in his own preparation for pilgrimage, which is so dear. He was preparing for the Jubilee year to go to the Holy Land. And he basically announced in this beautiful letter that he was going to go to the Holy Land to celebrate the Great Jubilee of 2000. And he wrote this beautiful letter talking about the importance of visiting these places. And so that's what this quote is about, this idea that what pilgrimage is, he says, to go in a spirit of prayer from one place to another, from one city to another, and this is so beautiful, in the area marked especially by God's intervention. This idea, he says, of course, like, this is the place that the Lord chose to become flesh. This is the place the Lord chose to die. This place is consecrated. And he says in the quote that it helps us then live our life as a journey, live our life as a pilgrimage. And as I've said before in our conversation, that's what this whole book really should be aimed at helping us do, is live our life as pilgrims. That's what this third chapter is about, life as pilgrims.
Yeah.
And so he's speaking both about the importance of going on pilgrimage to these physical places that are special, but also our life as a pilgrimage.
And that very last part, a God who does not look down at us from on high, but who became our traveling companion. I love that. He's gone before us, and yet he's with us, walking with us. I mean, it's just a great understanding of pilgrimage. So, Joni, jump in here, and because you talk, and I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Peregrini, am I saying that right?
That's how I say it. So
okay.
Let's do that.
Okay, well then it's right. That's the way it goes. So explain this concept to our audience and what it has to do with being on a pilgrimage.
Sure. So the first time, Peregrini, I mentioned, I think, in a couple of conversations ago, that the idea of the word pilgrimage, I should say, the word pilgrimage is not found in Hebrew or Greek, but that in the Bible it talks about wandering or journeying or sojourning. And likewise, this idea of pilgrimage, Peregrini, the Latin, that's first used by Augustine. Obviously, the Bible wasn't written in Latin originally, but this idea of Peregrini was first used, this Latin word, Peregrini, which is where we get our word pilgrimage, pilgrim. It was used by Augustine first to describe the Christian and our conversion of life. The idea that, we are Christians and we walk through this life on a pilgrimage, and that we ourselves are on a pilgrimage of conversion. And so he gets this term from really Roman law, that there were citizens who weren't Roman citizens. So they were people living in Rome, in the Roman territories. They weren't Roman citizens, but they were protected by Roman law, and they were called peregrini. It simply is a Latin word that means like traveler or one from abroad, where we get our Pilgrims on the Mayflower. And so this idea that, like, there are these people who live amongst the Romans, but they're not Romans. They're from other places. They're not protected by Roman law, but they are protected by Roman law. They're kind of these in-between people. So Augustine is basically saying, in the same vein as Paul, that that's who we are in this world. we're not really citizens of this world. We're citizens of heaven, but we're living here, and so we have certain rights and we have certain obligations in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's actually a really beautiful image of our life that, and that's what this whole chapter is about. We live here, and we're supposed to take care of this world, and we're supposed to love this world.
Mm-hmm.
But we're always going to feel that ache for something else because we weren't made for this world.
Yeah. And when I teach moral theology, I always talk about that, right? That what are we yearning for? We're yearning for happiness, and we get glimpses of it in this life, but it's never a total fulfillment, right? So it's the same thing here that you're talking about, is that we're always, Augustine says, restless, right? We sense there is something more that we can't really wrap our arms around right now. So talk to us about the virtue of detachment and what that has to do with this whole concept.
Yeah, so we are called to be detached from even the good things of this life. And so, we're living kind of this strange existence where, we're not supposed to pollute the world. We're not supposed to disregard the world. We're not saying the world is bad. We're supposed to care for this world, but yet be detached because it's not our home. And so that's where this virtue of detachment comes, that this life could be taken from us at any moment. Mm-hmm. And that's not a bad thing, actually. That's a beautiful thing if we're on the right path and if our pilgrimage is leading as it should to heaven. And so it's a daily reminder to us of, am I on the right path? Am I on the path that leads to heaven? Am I on the right pilgrimage path? And so there's so much. I actually give a parish mission based on this idea of life as a pilgrim, living as a pilgrim, because there's so many things we could draw in our daily life about if we are living as a pilgrim, what does that mean? It means detachment. We could go into a whole thing of why we fast during Lent because we are called to be detached. It means that our crosses are put in perspective. I carry crosses in this life, but guess what? There's going to be an end to that. Mm-hmm. And I'm carrying this cross for a purpose. I'm on this pilgrimage. It also gives us great mercy and patience with other people as they are on their pilgrimage of conversion. They're not finished yet. I'm not finished yet. We all need to be patient and merciful with each other. Yeah. So there's so many great themes when we look at life as a pilgrimage.
Exactly. And I want, I think we have enough time for you to do this for me. I want you to explain these lines because I love it. God made the world and he made it good. He gave it to us not as an obstacle, but as an instrument. Can you explain that for our audience?
Yeah, so it goes to that idea of detachment, but also that, the world is good. We don't think that matter's evil. That's an ancient heresy. We believe the world is good. God created the world good, but we should be using it as an instrument for him. And so we shouldn't abuse the world. We shouldn't abuse our goods. But all of those things should be used for promotion of the gospel. When people say the internet's bad. No, the internet is an instrument that should be used for the promotion of the good, right? So almost everything, unless it is something that's morally objectionable, almost everything can be used for promotion of the gospel, for the good, to get us closer to heaven. You can see the awful Roman Empire, the terrible Roman Empire that massacred Christians. You know what? The roads, the law, the language of the Roman Empire was used for the gospel. And so everything in this earth is used as an instrument. It shouldn't be an obstacle. It can be an obstacle if we become attached to it, but it should be an instrument.
Oh, Joni, wonderful stuff. And I'm going to tell you ahead of time, we're going to stand this chapter for next week because there's so much in it,
Sounds
okay?
good.
All right. You have a good week ahead and stay warm, okay?
I will. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.